Here we have the 9608. This is an IP phone. On the front of this phone, as you can see, we have a messages light, and this messages light button is lit up. If we push that button, it will take us to our visual voice messages. We can see that we have, here's our listen. That is our personal greeting, all right? That's our personal voicemail messages. We have 0 new, 0 saved, 0 old messages, all right? Now we have Mary's line. That is another voicemail. She actually has 3 new saved voicemails, 0 saved, 0 new, 0 saved. Let's hit that messages button again. Let's go to Mary's line. Now, it says, which one do we want? We can click and say we want new. We can either hit OK or select. Now it'll show us the call. We can choose which one of those messages we want to play. We can hit play. As we're playing, we can go left and right to go fast forward and back, but there's all this information about the call. We can hit call to call this call back from here. We can hit more and save this message or delete this message if needed, or we can hit copy and send this message to another user. Maybe it wasn't for Mary, it was for Lee. All right, so we can hit more. I'm going to go more, and I'm going to hit save because I want to save that message. Now you can see it says S. S for save, N for new, N for new. All right? So now I'm going to hit this phone exit button. It's going to take me back home, back to my main screen so I know what's going on. All right? If I hit this messages again, we're going to scroll down, and we're going to look at that messages button. This is if we want to leave a message for someone else. All right? We can once again hit OK, hit select, or we can push it here. Now we have our message. We're going to hit record. Testing, testing. This is just a test message. And then we hit stop. Now we need to choose who we want to send it to. All right. We say send to. We choose who we want to send it to. We can hit the directory and find who we want to send it to. But in this case, I know it is 125. Okay, it's going to be Tamara Williams. Is that the correct person? We can push that. We can hit add, or we can hit OK. In this case, we're going to hit add. Okay, now that's who we have. Do we want to send to anyone else? If we do, we can send to someone else. If we don't, we just hit send. Now that will send this voicemail to Tamara's phone. We can hit cancel. We're back to this page. All right, we just sent her a message. Maybe sometimes this message is, hey, you got a call yesterday. You might want to call this person back. Doesn't matter what the message is, okay? We can go down to greeting. This is our personal greeting. This is where we record, thank you for calling Eric's extension or sales extension or whatever extension we are trying to call. We can record, then we can listen, then we can submit. We need to make sure that we submit so that it saves, all right? Or we can delete it if we don't like what's there. In this case, I'm going to go and hit cancel, all right? Now, I'm going to go down. Next is my name. That is where I'd enter my name for dial by name directory. Then we have a passcode if I want to make a special passcode, but the passcode is already set by your administrator. Then we have voicemail on and off. I can turn it on, I can turn it off. Right now, I have it off. I can change it, turn it on, okay? I don't want it on, so we're gonna make it go away. The only reason I have a messages light is because I also have Mary's voicemail on this phone, all right? That is the way it was programmed. We're gonna hit this phone exit, okay? That is the voicemail messages button. Now on the main screen, you have 1 and 2. Or sometimes it is A and B. That is your appearance buttons or your line buttons. When you pick up the line, it's going to give you a dial tone. And all I have to do is start dialing, and it will go to who I need to go to. All right? I don't need to push 1 for long distance or anything like that because my extensions start with a 1. So I just pick up the phone and begin to dial. All right? Now, I have Park 1, Park 2. Those are parking spots for my calls. I like to look at it like this. My park buttons Those are parking spots where I can put a call and other people can get to that call. Okay, let's say I have a call for Janine. I put that call on park 1. Janine can get to it at her desk. All right. Now, let's say I put that call on hold. If I put that call on hold, it's like putting it in my personal garage. Nobody else can get to that call. Okay. So park 1, park 2, I have 2 parking spaces for other people to get my calls, and other people can park them and I can get those calls. All right. I have my redial button here. If I want to redial my last calls, I also have my histories button here if I want to go through the history way. All right. If I want to dial my cell phone or one of these calls, I can just push the button. A light means that person is either on the phone or their phone is not plugged in. In this case, my phone is not plugged in. All right. But I can hit Excel and it will dial my cell phone. All right. I also have an open mic button. Now with the open mic, it calls anyone on speakerphone. So I can open mic and then I can dial who I want to dial. Oh, I don't have anybody, so I'm going to dial tomorrow, 125. So, did you hear those 3 beeps? Those 3 beeps happen on my side and on tomorrow's side. It lets the customer know, and it lets both people know, hey, you're on speakerphone, so don't say anything you don't want to say, okay? So that's what that means, okay? With this phone, I can scroll left and right. These buttons can be programmed for whatever I want them to be. I have a time, I have a date, I have an extension number, I have a name, okay? All that can be changed for whatever I want it to be, all right? Now, here I have my contacts button. I can push that button and it'll show all of my contacts, okay? If I scroll right, it will show my personal contacts. And at this moment, I don't have any personal contacts in this phone, all right? If I scroll right again, it will show all of my external contacts. I don't have any external contacts in this phone once again, all right? If I hit right again, it will show all of my users, everybody in my office, all right? Then it'll go back to my groups, and then it'll go back to the beginning all right? So if I'd like, I can hit this new button, and I can add my own personal contact. So if I hit new, and then I dial with the keypad, so E, 1, 2, E, R, I, C, and then we have space, C, E, L, and then I go down, and then I can put in the number 720-532-63-9. Okay, we're gonna go back. More. Backspace 6393. More and save. Now I have a saved contact in my personal contacts. I can just hit call. It will call that person. All right. Phone exit. Here I have my home button. That takes me to my settings. I can set my screen sound, my call settings, my screens, my sound. I can make this screen brighter and all of that. So you can play around with that. Can't really mess much up. All right. Then we have our histories button. History, I can see everyone that I called. It has my all history. Okay, and I can call from here. I can look at more details from here. Okay, tells me how long the call was, whether it was ingoing, outgoing, any other details. Okay, we go back. Now I can go to the right. It'll show me my missed calls. Right now I don't have any missed calls that I've since I've last looked. I can go right again. It'll show me my incoming calls. So I'm actually going to, okay, let's say I want to add this phone. I can hit this contacts, boom, add that call directly to my contacts list. That way I don't have to do it the long way. All right, we're going to go more. We're going to go to my list. I can see all of my calls when, if I want, I can go back to my details. And then from my details or from here, I can add. All right, I can go over. These are all my outgoing calls, how many times I called each person. I can look at details to look at more. And then I can go back and it'll go to the all again. All right. And now we hit that all button, that exit button. All right, now down here I have my headsets button. Here I have on this desk a CS540. This is made by Plantronics, and they have multiple different versions of those phones, so you can choose a option. All right, then you have your speakerphone button, pretty self-explanatory. Speakerphone. All right, then we have our mute button. When you're on mute, that light will light up. When you're not on mute, it will not be lit up. All right, over here we have our volume button. It's the volume of the ringer when your speakerphone, when everything's down. When you're on speaker, it is the volume of your speakerphone. All right, when you pick up your handset, it is the volume of your handset. And that is how your volume button works. Now, this phone has caller ID. So when a call comes in, it will show incoming number, the date, the time, who's calling. In order to pick up a call, all I need to do is pick up the speakerphone button. Okay, I'm gonna put it on mute so I don't get feedback. Now, while I'm on call, I have a hold button up here. If I wanna place this call on hold for myself, I have a conferences button. If I need to conference another user inside the office, or I want to conference another user outside of the office, I have a transfer button. That way I can transfer the call maybe to someone's cell phone, or I want to transfer it to another user in the office. And then I have a drop, just in case I made a conference call and I want to drop somebody. All right, so while I'm on call, I have these soft buttons. Let's say I put a call on hold. You can see that call, it'll have the name, but the button is lighting up blue. On everyone else, they do not even see that call because I did not put it on park. It is on hold. All right? If I want to pick it up, I just push that button again and I'm back on the call. Now, let's say this call needs to go to someone else. I can put it on park. Now it is blinking on park 1. And on everyone else's phone, it is also blinking on park 1. And if they want to pick it up, all they have to do is push that phone call. If that's the right one, boom, we're connected. Now I would have said, hey, Jenny, you have a call parked on 1, or you have a call on park 2, wherever that call was. All right. Now, in order to conference call, while you're on the phone, if you hit your conferences button, it will give you a new dial tone. From there, you can dial out. All right. I don't know who I dialed, but this phone call will dial. I can say, hey, Jenny.
Enter the number from which you are calling.
Jenny, I'm trying to conference you in with Eric. She says, okay, let me conference. Now I hit this conference call. It'll beep. Now, boom, we're both on conference. Okay. I can always hit details.
Number you entered is
I can
not
see
valid.
who's all on
Please
this
enter the
call.
number
I can
from
hit
which you are-
drop the call. Boom. All right. If I wanted to, I could have chosen the person that I wanted to drop. But in this case, I didn't want to do that because I wanted that whole call to be gone. All right. Now, let's say that call comes back in. I can once again answer it by picking up the handset, answer it by hitting here, answer it by hitting answer on the screen, or I can ignore. I'm going to answer. Put that on mute. All right, now, transferring a call. It's very easy. We're going to hit this transfer button, and then we're going to choose who we want to transfer it to. I could choose Eric and transfer it to Eric's extension. But in this case, I'm going to choose Tamara and choose it to her extension. So act like that's Tamara. It rings Tamara's desk. Okay? Tamara can then answer the call and say, hello, this is Tamara. And now I can say, hey, Tamara, I have this customer on the line. He wants to speak with you. Are you available? Okay? Tamara can say, yes, I'm available. I can hit complete, or I can hang up. And now Tamara will be talking to that customer. All right. Let's say Tamara says, no, I'm not available. Then I can hit cancel. And now I'm talking, and I can say, hey, sorry, Tamara said she's not available. Can I send you to her voicemail? Customer says, yes, I'd like to go to her voicemail. All right. Now you can hit this messages button. You can say, okay, I wanted this to go to Tamara. This time we're going to look for Tamara. Hit directory. We're going to find Tamara. In this case, I'm going to hit T, A, boom, there's Tamara. So now I'm going to select, and then I'm going to go ahead and select. I just sent that call to Tamara's voicemail. That person can now go on, leave a message for Tamara. Okay? Now, call comes back in. I'm going to answer it. It's going to be on speaker. And this person says, hey, sorry, Tamara didn't answer. I didn't really want to leave a message with her voicemail. Can you try to transfer me again? And I'll leave it there. So then I can say, hold on, I actually think she's in the office and she's ready to talk to you now. So now I'm going to try to transfer this call again. But I know that she's not busy. So I don't need to tell her who's calling. I'm going to hit transfer. And then let's pretend that this is Tamara's button. I'm going to hit Tamara. And then I'm going to hang up. Okay? If you listen, that call is ringing Tamara's desk. Tamara can now pick up, hello, this is Tamara, and she can talk to the customer. So we just did a successful transfer to Tamara. All right? Now, once again, just to look, let's do a conference. Let's say we want to conference someone else. We're going to dial that number. Let's say Tamara. So we're going to just hit Tamara's extension. All right? Now, Tamara picks up the phone. And we say, hey, Tamara, I have Joe Jackson on the line. I'm going to conference you in. Hit my conference button. We are now all together. All right? Now, let's say I want to conference someone else in. I can hit my conference button again. It'll put those guys on hold. I can dial someone else's number. All right? And then when I'm ready, hit conference again. And I can conference as many people inside as I want. I can conference as many people outside as I have phone lines. Okay? Now, I just hung up. Let's say I didn't mean to hang up. I just didn't know the number that I wanted to call right away. That conference is still on. I can still pick up line 2, dial that number now that I found it, and hit conference. Or I can say, wait, I don't want a conference anymore, and I can come back to the call and say, hey, sorry guys, Jenny didn't answer. Let's do this conference call another time. Or we can continue on. And then I say, hold on, I don't want to so now I want to hit details and I want to drop Tamara. Okay? So now Tamara's gone. And now I can just talk to the customer and say, hey customer, so I know that Jennifer wasn't there. I let Tamara go. And now we can just discuss and talk about what we need to discuss. So you have complete control, okay? At any time, hang up when you're done. So this phone is the Avaya 9608. It can be programmed in whatever way you'd like it. These buttons can be whatever you would like. I can program more buttons on the scrolls left and right, all right? You can have things like coaching, so you can conference in and listen to another call at another desk. Maybe Tamara's on the phone and I can say, hey, Tamara, tell this customer we have a sale going on and you can sell them this equipment for 20% off. Then I can continue to listen. The customer doesn't know that I told her to say that. But because I have a coaching button, I can coach, all right? Now, there are so many other features that this phone can do. So if you wonder what it can do, ask your IT professional, get more answers.